Today on Eagle Nation News, Prosper High School's powerlifting champions are ready to share their stories. Vivian Pecori meets the dedicated athletes and discovers what it takes to soar to new heights in the weight room. The Prosper community is coming together to help one family that has strong ties to PISD. Coleman Meyer paints the town orange to join the community. Step into the world of forensics investigation at Prosper High School. Dylan Mize explores how students are solving mysteries and bringing the world of crime investigation to life. All this and more on today's edition of Eagle Nation News. Good morning, Eagle Nation. Thank you for joining us. I'm Landry Long.
And I'm Parker Reynolds. We have a great show for you today to update you on what has been going on here at Prosper. So stick around. Ian and starts right now.
Welcome back, Eagle Nation. Thank you for joining us again here at Studio 301.
Today is Friday, January 19th, and before we get into the swing of things, we have two special guests joining us today to announce some exciting news.
That's right. Christina is here in studio. Take it away.
Thank you, Landry. Here with me today is Mr. Jones and Malik, the senior class president. So, Mr. Jones, I hear there's something very exciting you have to tell us. So start us off.
Sure. So, we have a real special senior class this year, and so we've been very intentional to try to plan some events for our seniors to send them off the right way because they've done such a good job of leading the campus for multiple years, helping out of our younger kids, and so we're planning some events that our seniors can show up and have fun with.
Absolutely. And anything else, Malik?
On February 23rd from 6 to 10 p.m. at 3R Ranch in Prosper, we will have a bonfire with food, drinks, and a DJ, and there's limited spots, so get your tickets while you can.
That sounds like a lot of fun. And anything else before we go?
Of course. Go Eagles.
All right. Thank you very much. And that is all. Back to you, Parker and Landry.
Thank you, Christina. Go Eagles for sure. And thank you for Mr. Jones and Malik for joining us today.
Yes, I am so excited. That sounds so fun.
Such a fun surprise.
Yes, and speaking of surprises, students in the Prosper Forensics class have become the Sherlock Holmes of our school, turning lessons into adventures and mysteries.
Dylan Mize discovers what makes this class so unique and why you might need to add it to your schedule for next year.
Criminal Investigations, a class here at Prosper High School, taught by Mr. Deal, is helping students get ready for the criminal investigations and law enforcement fields later in life.
This is a practical exercise, which honestly a lot of police academies go to this style of training nowadays anyway. What this does is a culmination of everything that we've learned on how to come into a crime scene, and they actually have to put it to action.
In their most recent project, the students got to act out a scenario that may very well happen to them in the real field.
So for our project, we had to make a crime scene. Then on the day where we actually did it, we would set up our crime scene, and then another group would respond and act like they were officers and try to figure out how to solve our crime scene.
We represented sort of two different roles on crime scene arrival. The arrival of the first responder and then the arrival of the detective. We kind of combined those. And so what we had was a practical where the students in three groups created a crime scene with evidence. And then a second group arrived and had to go through procedures that we've learned actually last semester on how to approach the crime scene. And then the third group of students evaluated.
Overall, this class helps students get ready and gives them experience on what it's going to be like in the real world. Reporting for Eagle Nation News, I'm Dylan Mize.
I actually have never heard of that class before, but it seems so fun, and I wish I could have taken it.
Me too. I just hope I never end up on the wrong side of one of those investigations.
Personally, I wouldn't be that surprised if you did. But anyways, that class sounds pretty thrilling to me.
And speaking of thrilling discoveries, we are always finding out more about Hollywood. Up next is Talent Talk, sponsored by Jam and Toast.
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Why not do it right? From Belgian waffles to Santa Fe chicken, there is something for everyone. For a sunny side up type of morning, visit the exclusive location of Jam and Toast today.
From music to movies and TV shows, they're all making comebacks.
Maddie Kep is in studio to fill us in on all of the newest pop culture revivals.
Thanks, Parker. Festival season is slowly approaching and musical lineups are getting announced. The Coachella lineup was recently revealed with big artists Lana Del Rey, Tyler the Creator, Doja Cat, and a shocking comeback from the band No Doubt with Tom Dumont, Tony Kanal, Adrian Young, and Gwen Stefani. Speaking of comebacks, the hit show Wizardly of Waverly Place is coming back with a sequel. Selena Gomez took to Instagram with a throwback picture of her and co-star David Henry. Gomez wrote, "We're back," confirming their magical comeback. Henry also took the announcement to Instagram with a photo of the script and the caption reading, "The Russos are excited to become a part of your family once again. But we've grown. 2024, the year magic comes back." According to Deadline, the show plans to follow Henry, who plays Justin Russo, who has just left his powers behind for a normal life with his wife and sons. Fans of the show have been blowing up social media with their opinions and excitement for the reboot. Something else that has been blowing up on social media is viewers' opinions on the new Mean Girls remake. Reviews of the movie scale from fans loving it to hating it. Some say the singing was unnecessary. Viewers are also talking about all the product placement throughout the movie and how much of a flop it was. Even with some of the hate, fans still couldn't get enough of it. The movie earned an estimated $28 million during the opening weekend. With that said, what were y'all's opinions on the new Mean Girls?
Yeah, we actually both got to see it, and I am a huge fan. I think they did a great job of keeping that classic storyline, but adding their own musical twist.
Personally, I hated the musical twist, but I really loved the popcorn, so it kind of made up for it.
Hey, I think you were laughing like the entire movie, actually.
I think mine and a lot of people's favorite part of the movie was probably the time she got hit by a bus, and that's probably when I was laughing the most.
Of course it was.
And switching into some much more serious news, sophomore Jackson Little recently received a diagnosis that changed his life forever. Coleman Meyer has the story of this JV basketball player now fighting for his life.
Number 5 on the Prosper High School JV basketball team, Jackson Little enjoys playing sports and spending time with his friends. But 4 weeks ago, an unexpected visit to the ER would change his life forever.
I had a tournament the week before, basketball, but I was feeling really tired. And then I woke up Monday and I was sick. I woke up Tuesday, I left school early. I woke up Wednesday, I left school early again, and then Thursday and Friday I couldn't breathe out of my, I had trouble breathing out of my spleen.
They knew pretty quickly that it was leukemia, just with some signs. He had petechiae, which are these little spots all over his legs. He had some unexplained bruising. He'd had nosebleeds.
For me it was a shock. It's always hard when you have a kid this age go through something like this, especially somebody that's in really good shape, he's in good health, and all those things. It was shocking to me, to be honest.
After his diagnosis, within hours, the Prosper community quickly mobilized to put together donations, fundraisers, and even a prayer vigil in support of Jackson, all under the phrase #LittleStrong.
Yeah, we have a great group of moms that are supportive in our program, and they actually came up with it. It was something that they took his last name, decided to attach it to Little Strong, and we're kind of running with it, and we think it's apt in this part.
It's been overwhelming, the support and how they have just wrapped their arms around us. We still hadn't even processed it, and they already had the vigil plan, the fundraiser plans, the shirts. It's amazing what our community will do when you're in a time of need.
It's been cool. A lot of my grandma's old church friends, they try to write little sweet notes, and that's fun. And then I got from Sam Johnson. It was just a poster from McKinney Schools.
Our community as a whole has really rallied really well. What I would tell our student body is that if anybody goes through this, you're never in this fight alone. You always have support of this campus, of this community, which is amazing. A lot of places aren't like this way.
Before we can even ask for it, our community has been there to take care of it, and that part has been unbelievable. So I think if anything, we would just say thank you.
I'm Coleman Meyer, reporting for Eagle Nation News.
We are LittleStrong. Love it. Thank you all very much for being here.
That story is very inspiring, Landry.
Yeah, it's awesome to see how the community rallied around him and his family so quickly after his diagnosis.
Yeah, and the community continued to rally because earlier this week, Jackson went home and was welcomed by tons of family and friends as they decorated the outside of his house, and he did a drive-by.
Yeah, and it's inspiring to see his story and how his basketball family has really been there for him throughout his journey.
For sure, and on the topic of basketball, don't leave because we are bouncing into game time.
Skills USA is collecting donations for Love Packs. Love Packs help provide food for families in need. Currently, they need items such as canned fruits, vegetables, soup, peanut butter and jelly, granola bars, and more. Visit their website or scan the QR code for the full list of items they need. All donations can be dropped off in the nest with Miss Riley through January 31st. Even though it's still freezing outside, Prosper sports are heating up like never before.
Isabel Moulter scores us a recap of the recent sports at Prosper and the lineup in this week's Game Time.
Thanks, Parker. Starting off strong, our girls soccer team brought home 3 big wins this week, beating Hockaday 3-1, Montverde 2-1, and shutting out Clear Springs 7-0. Prosper girls soccer is now ranked number 10 in the country and number 1 in Texas. The ladies will play again tonight against New Braunfels at 4:20. Kicking it over to boys soccer, the Eagles also got some victories this past week, winning against Trinity 3-0 and Keller 3-1. The boys will look to keep this winning streak going as they play against Geyer next Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. From the field to the court, Prosper's victories just keep coming. Our Lady Eagle basketball team came out on top with 2 district wins this week, defeating McKinney 61-57 and Geyer 63-42. Junior guard Kendall Mosley was voted Star Local Media's Athlete of the Week, and the ladies hope to keep this momentum going into their game tonight against McKinney Boyd at 6. Passing it over to boys basketball, the Eagles were not able to secure the wins in district play, falling short to McKinney 39-60 and Geyer 39-58. Looking for the rebound, the boys will play again tonight against McKinney Boyd at 7:15. Lastly, splashing into swim and dive, Prosper girls and boys varsity teams will compete next Thursday in the Dive District Championship at 10 a.m. Speaking of championships, Prosper girls powerlifting is off to their first meet tomorrow at Princeton. But what's behind the strong bond of girls powerlifting? Vivian has taken the weight to share the story.
In this society, girls are naturally challenged, being at the bottom of the chain and expected to be happy with it. These girls have changed that.
I think it's very important for girls to be included in powerlifting just because it allows the inclusivity of a certain standard that girls, aren't as strong as guys or they're never going to be as strong as guys.
One of the exercises done in girls powerlifting is squats. But the most important part for me and most girls is the community behind it.
I want our girls, whether they're playing another sport or whether they're just doing powerlifting, to have confidence in what ability they have when they walk into a weight room. I don't want them to ever feel like they're intimidated or it's not a place for them, because girls are athletes and they need to weight train, they need to be strong, and getting in here and doing powerlifting helps build that confidence where they go, I can walk in here and I don't care who's in here because I belong in here.
Coach T isn't only focused on the present, but he's focused on the future.
My goal is not for them to be state powerlifters, not for them to be the strongest girls in the world. My goal with them is that when they leave this program and all of a sudden they graduate and they go on their life and they go, you know what, I want to go get a gym membership. And I'm 20 years old and I'm walking into a gym, I'm not going to be intimidated by anybody in a gym. I don't care who it is, because I know that I belong here. I know how to work out, and I know what feels right and what I'm capable of doing.
Girls powerlifting was made to make a girl feel strong, confident, and powerful. And Coach T has achieved that. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Vivian Pecori.
It's so amazing to see how Coach T and his athletes have created an accepting community for girls here at PHS.
Yes, I love to see it.
That's all we have for you today, Eagle Nation. Once again, I'm Parker Reynolds.
And I'm Landry Long. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Have a great rest of your day, and go Eagles.